Okay, so let's take a look at how you can draw calendar heat map, and for this we will be using calendar library. So first thing, let's open our studio and try and download this calendar package, right? So what we're going to do is we will be able to plot heat map based on that calendar data, right? So let me clear the past script. Now go to tools, install packages. Here we'll have to check for calendar package, right? And then we will have to download it. So calendar, so this is the capital R at the end. Install the package, and once you do that, we are ready to start with our data set, right? So create our script, right? So if you're watching this in 23, the RStudio is now rebranded as Posit, so keep that in mind. Now type in set seed. Here I'm going to choose the seed for 2, right? Then I will be setting up a data with rnorm and 365, right? Now the next thing is we'll be using calendar with year 2023, right? Then let's see special days, we'll be setting it based on our data, right? Now let's close the bracket. Now here let's add gradient, set it to true, right? Next thing would be also using our value for gradients, right? So special color for special days, and also the color for that gradient effect, right? So we can choose these two things, right? So pretty much we are ready for first option. We will have to also call for calendar package, right? Hopefully I got it correctly. So let's run this, right? So if everything is correct, it should point us to that library. Yes, oh, it's working. Next we got the seed, then we got the data, right? So we have 365 of data, right? So let's find out our calendar. Here you see special days are marked with the dark colors, right? And this is the color palette that I have chosen. If you want, you can pick between different color palettes. So let's say gradient color palette, 2 colors, right? We'll try and search through this sort of option. So create palette, we can use existing one. So here we have few options. So let's say if I choose this particular color and this yellowish color, right? So for special days we will choose this, right? So if I add this color for special, make sure to use the hash symbol, then also this particular for our regular color, right? So between the two we will be running our code. So if I run this again, we'll have our calendar. Let's zoom in, and there you go, you have another color, right? So there are a few things you can experiment with, right? So let's say if I have to add a legend, like you have some sort of a data to add, you can add comma here. So legend dot position let's say right is the position, right? Then special equals to, we already have that value, right? So that we don't have to change it for legend. It will pick from one of these color, right? So legend title, here we will be adding, say, calendar. Okay, so just keep it that way. Right now if I run this, it should add the legend and its respective position would be right. Okay, so zoom in. Okay, to the right you can see this calendar and we got our color sorted as well, right? So what we have done so far is we added the package calendar, then we created a data for 365 days, put that data for the year 23, added special days with that data, and then set the gradient for colors between special data, special days and our regular days, right? Also we added the legend just in case if we want to specify something, and we also added the legend title there. So this comes in handy for lunar calendars or temperatures, right? So such type of monthly calendars you can create to show the temperature sort of values. You can use the color palette in that case. There is one more thing that I didn't mention, which is adding the orientation, right? So if we set the portrait value and if I run this, right, and let's say zoom in, you will get the portrait view of that particular calendar, and you will notice that this time the blocks are more horizontal rather than those squarish type, right? So this is portrait view, comes in handy when you are doing the print of this type of chart, right? So this is calendar chart. So if you want to put it in print option for portrait, and this comes in handy there, right? So there is one more thing. Let's see if I want to choose a month for this, so I will use month 3, which is March, obviously. Now if I run this, okay, so if gradient true, the length of special days must be number of days corresponding to year. So if we use the gradient, you'll have to give up on this, right? So let's try and run this. Gradient false, so no legend will be plotted, so we'll have to hide the legend too, right? Let's try and see how many errors. Only zeros may be mixed with negative. Okay, subscript, so there seems to be that issue with special days as well. So let's run this. Now this time you'll notice that it refused to show me the special days, so I'll have to think of special days value in some other way. So say special days set to, if I set it to true, let's see what it shows, right? So special days, considering the current factor, it will show entire color of this to special days, right? So we'll have to pick up, let's say, weekend, so special days, or here let's say weekend, right? So if we run this, okay, sorry, so special needs set to weekend, right? So we run this and see if it gives us some value, right? So here we have Saturday, Sunday properly colored, and this time it is making use of our gradient colors, right? However, if you want more specific data other than weekends, then this sort of gradient feel would come in. Otherwise, it will just push to strong colors and keep the rest of the calendar as yellow. So that's one of the issue that you would notice here. Right now, what we can do is we can also have heat map on certain days. So for that, what we can do is, let's do this all over again, right? So I have data with norm, see 13, then 15 and 10, right? Also for days, I will have, let's see, we have minimum of data, and then we will have to put on not 5 of 365, right? Then next thing would be to use our days from 30 to 59 for our data, right? Then we will choose calendar, right? So here year could be 2022 or 23, right? Then special days, right? So here we can put in days, right? Or if we already have our days ready, we can just replace it with days, or weekdays usually we have, but we can put that over there. So our current color for special color, we can pick the one from color palettes that we earlier looked. So we can go with this for now, right? Then we have gradient to true, then the legend dot position set to bottom of the calendar, right? So let's go from start. We have data, then days, right? Now what we can do, run and see our calendar. Okay, so here we zoom in, and here you'll notice we have some specific heat map days in February, right? We have few in January, and our legend position also shows that data. So this is extracted out of the initial data that we created and passed on to special days. If you experiment with this data, you will have more days with that calendar, right? So this is pretty much the brief view on how you can use heat map with calendar, right? So you can have various sort of calculations, lunar, temperature, rain, flood, lot of that you can plot it on your calendar.